Right.
There you go. Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Good.
okay.
Okay.
Happy with yours? Done? Done? No, we're not done.
Like, yeah, and
Yeah,
then these
you have the hardest one though.
Just saying that to make us feel better.
the one I can't.
No, we didn't.
You got nose, Carol?
No.
No, pedals.
Okay.
It could be right.
Low.
I think it's pretty good.
There's a stream and stuff. Okay. We're gonna get you to read out the poems and see what you come up with. I know. First of all, just think about how many of you felt really confident in your ability to do this. Like you know poetry, you're comfortable with poetry, you're secure in your knowledge. Maybe you got a couple of lines wrong, that's okay, but you are able to do this task really comfortably and confidently. How many of you were very unconfident about this? Good, because you'll be able to relate to a whole lot of your students. That's very important. So whether you're on one end or the other, you are working collaboratively, you are sharing your ideas, that's really helpful. So nobody has to be seen as not knowing what they're doing. You don't have to stand out as not knowing what you're doing. And you all have something to contribute. And that's really important, that everybody's contributing and everybody's learning. And I heard you actually telling stories about things that relate to the poem, and maybe not. But sharing your background about your understanding. So there's a whole lot of things going on in this kind of activity that isn't just about finding the right answer. So let's see what you've come up with. Who wants to read out their poem? Oh, just a sec. As you're doing that, who wants to start?
Awesome.
And what poem is it?
The Second Coming by William Yeats.
Okay. Okay. Recite away.
Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Real shadows of the indignant desert birds. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the darkness drops again. But now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. The ceremony of innocence is drowned, surely some revelation is at hand. The second coming, hardly are those words out, when a vast image of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight, somewhere in the sands of the desert. A shape with lion body and the head of a man is moving its slow thighs, while all about it, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, surely the second coming is at hand.
Thank you. That's a very impressive poem. What was it about?
It's about the different revelations around this gyre that Yeats envisioned, and each 20 centuries is either a good one or a evil bad one. It's talking about the end of like Christ's reign and the new kind of evil era that's coming upon us.
So you're familiar with that poem a little bit.
Maybe.
Bringing a strong background. Is that why you picked it?
Yeah.
Aha! Excellent. So everybody else got to learn from what you already knew about that poem and putting it together. Okay? Did you all contribute? Or did you just, I heard you all the hard work? How did they do?
They started off great. Like, very funny
Two
lines.
lines. The first 2 lines were spot on, and then there was
There were a couple
there was
guffaws.
a couple after that were in the right.
So,
Yeah, a couple here and there.
pretty darn good or terrible? Pretty darn good. Excellent. Thank you very much for starting off. Didn't it sound like a great poem?
Just like this last line.
I think Yeats must have got it mixed up just a little bit. That's better. Okay, who wants to go next? Okay, what's your poem?
I do not love you except because I love you by Pablo Neruda.
Oh, excellent.
Got it
You can
closer.
check on both of them.